It's that time of year. Time to count down the top 10 Flipping 50 podcasts for menopause, health, and fitness in 2021. It's all based on your votes by the number of downloads for each podcast. So at the end of the year, collectively, I sit down with a spreadsheet of all of our podcasts and look at what you loved most. Now, when you say it like that, and it happens to be December 24th while you're doing this, we have to know and agree, in fairness, any episode that was released, say, on December 21st, doesn't stand a chance, really, against an episode that might have been released on January 8th. So, I did level the playing field just a little bit because I think within a matter of months, in fact, said episode released December 21st will become a perennial favorite. So, that said, let me give you a little background. I'm Deborah Atkins, and you're listening to Flipping 50, where I address your top struggles and concerns. I share what to eat, how to move, and how to change your mindset, so you can have the energy and the vitality that you want, need, and deserve in this second and better half. And today, true confessions. Before we dive in to the top 10, I'm recording this, yes, on Christmas Eve, because I am not having a white Christmas, and I'm not having it in Colorado, and I won't be seeing my family. Here's the 411. So we're earlier this week. In fact, it's now been a week. I came down with kind of an odd set of symptoms, and starting on Monday, it turned more into a headache and a little bit of a sore throat. Not really, but more of a just clearing of throat. My throat feels thick. You potentially may hear it. I don't have a head cold, but that's kind of the way it's playing out. I tested on Tuesday, rapid test, just in case I was still feeling like flying on Thursday, tested negative, and then realized maybe it's too soon. And maybe if I tested 2 days later, there's always the if and the if. But Wednesday at noon, I pulled the plug. Instead of getting on a plane Thursday morning, I had canceled. So playing it safe for myself, no matter what I've got and or would have had, my immune system is probably depleted. It's probably not the time to be around, thousands of my newest best friends at the airport or on planes. And also wanted to keep my family all safe. So here I am. I will, at some point, be coming to you from Colorado in the month of January, having a few adventures and maybe truly get a white Christmas, because what I understand is I am getting more precipitation as it's raining here in Scottsdale than anyone in either Colorado or my other family members in Iowa. Who knew? Okay, let's dive into this episode. So I want to give you a little background. In case you didn't know, Flipping 50, the podcast, is entering its now 7th year, although it's actually been a little bit longer than that. It's been around since at least 2014, but that is the only documented record that I have. To be honest, during some of the early years, those early couple are sketchy. So I had no idea what I was doing. I just knew it needed to be done. There were not enough messages about fitness in menopause and perimenopause, and there were mistakes being made that I realized even I was making 29 years into a fitness and health career that included teaching at the university level. So this podcast started somewhere before that, and so who knows? Although there are already more than 527 episodes, I didn't start numbering them officially early on. So I'm only actually at this episode 504. How's that for a hot menopause mystery? All things considered, not a big deal. It does show I didn't have very good vision. I couldn't have imagined that we would be approaching 2 million downloads or supporting a community of over 250,000 women in menopause. Many of you came from YouTube, met me on quote unquote our YouTube channel. I'll put that link in the show notes, by the way, or from Facebook, or you saw a Flipping 50 TV episode later. And some of you met me, quote unquote, more recently from my TEDx talk as I appeared in the end of 2019. Wherever we met, I'm grateful for you and for the stories you share and the questions you ask. And all of those help someone else. It takes a village and each individual in it. So if you're listening, I thank you. So let's do this. As any respectable Iowa girl would, Letterman style. The 10th top Flipping 50 podcast for menopause and health and fitness is, cue drumroll, number 10. When your menopause calorie deficit backfires. And all of these, by the way, the links will be in the show notes. Eat less, exercise more. So goes the dogma. It's wrong, dead wrong. Are you eating enough for your fitness to stand a chance getting the rewards you want? That's what this episode is all about. And number 9, are you strong enough if the unthinkable happens? This is one of several interview episodes, and I interviewed Pam Sherman, who was a part-time group fitness instructor for 2 decades when an accident tested how truly fit she was and changed the value of her health and the trajectory, potentially, of her career. Number 8, total body or split routine strength training in menopause. I'm both glad and a bit alarmed about this episode, making it to the top 10 podcasts for menopause health and fitness. Glad because this rumor and strategy is potentially limiting your progress, keeping you exhausted, and ignoring science. I'm alarmed because it tells me that a lot of fitness professionals, or at least a lot of fitness marketers, are suggesting that you work out as a bodybuilder or figure competitor in midlife, which has a strong potential to wreak havoc with your hormones. Bottom line is and always will be about evidence of what your fitness and health habits are having on your body fat, your muscle, your sleep, your stress, your belly fat, and your energy levels, just to name a few. That should determine if it's working for you. Number 7, where to start exercise. Ask the menopause fitness experts. This comes from a reader Q&A, and we do have a public Facebook group called the Flipping 50 Insiders, that if you're not a part of it and you're not already a part of a program in Flipping 50, then this is a great place to land to ask your questions, because it's where I go to get a roundup of questions that are most frequently asked by our listeners, YouTube channel followers, and Flipping 50 TV viewers. So by the way, if you're listening to the top 10 menopause podcasts for health and fitness at the end of 2021 or the beginning of 2022, the very beginning, I have a couple resources for you. First, my annual tradition is to do a planning session with you for free live on Facebook between Christmas and New Year's. That link I will put in the show notes. There's a virtual retreat happening January 8th. That is a paid program. And you could still get in until it closes, however, on the 5th. That happens on Saturday, January 8th. And Stronger, my 12-week strength training program, and the cafe, both are open for a limited time. Now, if you're listening to this after the 31st, Stronger is closed. If you're listening to this after the 5th of January, the membership is also closed until half year, when we will open again. There are links in the show notes to all of these, and that will be at flipping50.com/menopause-podcast. So there's something for everyone. If you just want free, you know you need support and it feels like a good fit, or you're just saying, yes, hell yes, 2022 is going to be my year, and you want to jump into the membership while we're open. Number 6, how to time protein for optimal muscle and recovery. All right, any talk about protein and muscle or fat is a hot topic for us here at Flipping 50. So this detailed podcast will explain the importance of not just what, but of when you eat. Distributing protein correctly around your workout and throughout the day is far more beneficial than allowing some app to tell you that you hit the number at the end of the day. Learn more about your midlife energy needs in this podcast. The 5th top Flipping 50 podcast for menopause, health, and fitness is, drumroll please, number 5. What's at the core of your menopause belly woes? Now, coming right up there with protein and with any talk about weight loss is belly fat, belly bloat, belly. So is it fat? Is it bloat? Is it a lack of muscle tone? If it's fat, where's the fat from? If it's bloat, where is it from? This episode unpacks all of it. And number 4, total body workouts versus total body exercises. Based on your goals, we're going to look at what's the value to you as a midlife woman according to science, right? Not my opinion, as Deborah, who's 57, not my opinion as Deborah, who's 38 years now in the fitness industry, not my opinion on a Thursday, right? Not my opinion at all, but professional consumption of scientific data. I'm going to break it down for you. What's the difference between total body workouts and total body exercises? So we're not talking split routine here, but we are talking based on your goals, based on your hormones, your joints, your ligament status, and health history. I look at menopause as a sport. Here's how to train. So, number 3, 7 secrets to more muscle in menopause. Are you in? But here's the deal. If you can lift heavy, you should. Yet what if you can't? This is about how to reach fatigue and be successful when you can't go heavy. That's what this episode is all about. And number 2, blunt fitness facts as we age. This is a real talk interview, another interview episode. And as we get close to the top, you're going to find we've got a couple more here, even though we're running out of numbers. In this interview episode, I chat with Susan Niebergall, who enjoyed a career as a school counselor. And I have to believe she was amazing at it, and then became interested in fitness. So as so many others do, she solved her own challenges first, and then she's a straight talker. We openly tackle myths and mindset craziness that affects or infects midlife women, and talk about how she evolved into becoming a midlife fitness coach. And number 1, Plant versus animal protein for midlife women. It's an Ask the Experts interview. Protein, really any food, flavored conversation here is a popular topic among women in midlife. So it's no wonder to me that this episode hit the top number one podcast for 2021. It is another interview episode. This one with the team over at Wise and Well. Maria and Kristen are pros as health coaches and registered dietitian pairing up. They and I break down the reason behind advocating for animal protein for hormone support. It may ruffle your feathers. It may confirm what you thought or that your body was telling you. But either way, no matter which way, I think you'll be glad you listened. And a bonus, I couldn't resist. The Menopausal Woman interview with Dr. Christiane Northrup. I asked Dr. Northrup to come on and be my guest and was pleasantly surprised she was actually available sooner than I anticipated might be. So I wanted her as close to the celebration of 500 episodes on Flipping 50 as possible. She's an iconic pioneer in the field of menopause, began talking about it long before anyone else was, in a way no one else was, and really still is today. So putting this episode that's been out for just less than 7 days right now up against episodes that have run for more than 11 months is a little unfair. I know from the early comments across our social media sites that this episode is on its way to being a top 10 podcast for menopause, health, and fitness. So I put that one in there. The link will also be in the show notes. And there is also a personal favorite, maybe for sentimental reasons, but my personal favorite is episode 500. And of course, as you know, that's the episode I labeled as 500. It's how I'm dealing with grief and beyond. Because so many of you, so many of us in this place where we're dealing with hormonal issues, changes in our lives, are also dealing with the empty nest syndrome potentially, or trapped between our young adult children with COVID. Who knows, right? Some came back home. Some were not even our young adult children coming back home. And we've also got aging parents, some of them coming back home. And I know you've experienced this because so many of you shared graciously what it was like for you to lose your mother or father, whether it was during the pandemic or it was at another time. I simply wanted to express how I'm dealing with it, not to profess this is the way to do it, because I think there is no one way, but respectfully sharing it in a way that allows us to have a conversation. And if nothing more, you having that conversation with yourself about where you really are in having worked through and experienced the emotions that are a part of grief and of healing. There you have it. That is your top 10, really 12 episodes of 2021. And it is my pleasure that your ears are hearing my voice at the moment, however nasal it may sound. Thanks for putting up with me. Thank you for sharing every moment. When I am behind my keyboard, which is where I record with my headset on, preparing an episode, what I'm doing is thinking about you, thinking about a woman who might be walking alone or with a dog, or one who might be making a commute, one who might have her laptop in the kitchen while she prepares dinner, playing an episode. I think about all those scenarios, and I think about what time of day it might be, what your day has been like, and what you might most benefit from me sharing. That's where it all comes from. That, my friend, is how I hope it's landing. Thank you again.